was the best part of the story. I can imagine the surprise.
If she's reading and you are talking, she doesn't like it. She will leave you and enter the toilet and lock the door.
Everything she does is intentional.
She's always very disciplined.
Somebody that is very intentional about her life. She's very consistent.
She's that committed to doing the right things, I must say, and she's just an amazing woman.
Before the platforms, before the titles, there were the roots. Hidden deep in the heart of a young girl in Lagos was a discipline that would one day shape thousands. Long before the empire, there was process.
Discipline,
Brilliant.
Visionary,
Exceptional.
Kind.
Very bold.
a leader, focused, driven, unstoppable.
Your discipline inspires all.
In a world of fleeting passions and half measures, true impact belongs to those who show up every single day. From her childhood focus to transforming bodies, from building global communities to managing her home. She doesn't just start, she's there. This is the story of unyielding consistency. This is the story of Ezi-Aha.
I met Ezi-Aha at primary school, and I remember that she always used to come first. Either first or second, like she was on a FICO. So I'm not surprised she's doing PhD in a FICO. So brilliant. And she's still brilliant till now. The second thing I remember about her is that she was a good communicator. Always used to talk, always used to write. Even when we got to secondary school, she still used to write me letters. The third one, she's a leader. I remember even from primary school, she had the ability to draw people and lead them. So till now, she's still leading. So those traits have continued. It's amazing to see what she's doing now. And I'm also excited to see what she will do in the next decade.
We've had a friendship that has spanned literally 3 decades. Even at that time, all those years ago. One thing about you is you were always kind and warm and loving and just a joyful person. I mean, we went to a federal government secondary school, and anybody who attended any of those institutions, even at that time, will tell you there was definitely not a walk in the park. However, Ezi-Aha somehow managed to squeeze joy even in those uncomfortable circumstances. She was always effervescent, she was always joyful, and she continues to be that same way, regardless of what life has thrown at her.
She somehow managed to squeeze joy even out of uncomfortable circumstances.
Ezi-Aha Kego Ngozi Bolaji-Olojo, my baby sister, the one I watched grow from the moment she came into this world, and now somehow she's 40. I refuse to feel old, I beg. When I look back, I realized I wasn't just a big sister to you. I was your first caregiver. The timing of your birth was just perfect. I was on a long break transitioning from primary to secondary school just as the 6334 system was being introduced. Schools needed time to recalibrate, so suddenly I had months at home, months I ended up spending with you. I was with you from every day. I carried you everywhere, including to my mom's pharmacy when she opened it shortly after you were born, while mommy was on maternity leave. I carried you, watched over you, guided you, and honestly, I thought I was the one teaching you everything. Yes, I'm collecting my flowers. But as the years passed, I discovered something beautiful. You were learning from me, yes, but I was also learning from you. You have always been consistent. That's one of the greatest strengths that you have. When you set your mind or your heart on something, that's exactly what you're going to do. You were committed, fully committed. No half measures, no distractions, including turning off your phone. This one I still don't understand, Sha. I've watched you prove that over and over again. Your weight loss journey, which unfolded right before my eyes, felt like a film trick, except it was real, very, very real. You took long walks, maintained a very solid exercise routine, and completely transformed your diet, having a baby notwithstanding. I've seen this same consistency in your faith journey. I became born again and joined Trend, and you followed me, building deep spiritual roots that continue to guide your life today. I love how you fuse weight loss, fitness, and spirituality. It's uncanny. You didn't just follow a path, you walked it with discipline and conviction. You inspire me more than you know. The way you show up for your goals, even my goals. You didn't just talk. Fitness, you lived it, you breathed it, and you dragged me, happily though, into that world. You became my fitness coach, my accountability partner, and honestly, one of the major reasons I hit my weight loss goals. Your discipline is contagious, and I'm grateful. I'm a grateful beneficiary. I know when to surrender to higher authority, and on this fitness matter, I salute you. Your husband once asked me, so you are taking instructions from Ezi-Aha? And I said, yes, so today, even today, you're still my fitness coach. And I'm still following your lead, following your rules most of the time. I've gone back to the WhatsApp group that ended in September 2021 so many times to get ideas and inspirations. For that, Ezi-Aha, I'm truly grateful. But beyond fitness, beyond habits, beyond all the everyday things, I've watched your life blossom into something truly admirable. You're a mother of two, a devout wife, a woman of deep faith, and a role model to many. I remember speaking at one of your events a few years ago and quietly asking myself, so all these people are Ezi-Aha's mentee. God, you are awesome. You were there when my girls were growing up and you honed those parenting skills you first developed with KingDaveed and ElJohn so beautifully. Well done. And academically, you keep raising the bar. A master's degree achieved just recently, and now you're ready on the PhD journey. Who does that? You, Ezi-Aha. Because that's who you are. Focused, driven, unstoppable. To think we attended the same secondary school, university, we too foolish. I'm so proud of the woman you have become. Truly and deeply proud.
Ezi-Aha Bolaji-Olojo is my daughter, my precious daughter. So I'm so happy today with what she's doing. I expected them. One, she's always very bold. And when he has said she's going to do this, she will do it by the grace of God. In her secondary school, she never failed any class. And she would read her book every time. You don't tell her to read her book. And to the extent that if she's reading and you are talking, she doesn't like it, she will leave you and enter the toilet and lock the door. So if she's in the toilet and you are being pressed, sorry is your name. She will stay there until she has finished what she wants to gather. So as we are celebrating today, it's not surprising to me because as she was growing, anything she wants to do, she must do it. If you say don't do it, she said she will do it. And the most important one is that when she entered Ibadan to do pharmacy, she made more than the credit they needed. So by the time she stayed there, there was a lecturer that was there. She said, Mommy, she will stay with me here. She won't stay in the ward. And she stayed with her. On her second year, she said, Mommy, I don't want to continue with this pharmacy. I said, why now? You are in second year. And every lecturer there loved her and she was doing well. And because she had taken the decision, she refused to go back. We tried to encourage her. So He said she will go. She did everything herself. We said, go. If they will take you, let them take you where you want to go. We didn't go. And she went, she succeeded and joined them from year 2. So she continued. And you know, from there, she made first class at the end of that course. So I'm thanking God for her today and every other day.
So I'll give the credit for my spirituality, aside from God, to 3 people, because I truly have very deep roots spiritually. And first, that would be my mom. My mom set me up real good spiritually. I mean, I grew up in church. We're constantly going to church for one thing or the other. Every children's program, every camp meeting, I was there. And not just me, all of my siblings. So I developed such a taste and love for the things of God from a very young age. And as I started to grow older, I encountered 2 more women that just sealed the deal for me. One of them, Joyce Meyer. Yeah, she was in America, but I could relate with her. In fact, my nieces would say she's a grandmother of mine because of how close I was, not just with her teachings, but how I started to practice. I'll buy Bibles, I'll buy all her books as much as I could see. And she was beautiful. She was intelligent. She spoke the word of God with so much grace and power. And I thought, that's really good. So Joyce Meyer was very foundational for me in terms of my faith. Third person would be the late Pastor Bimbo Odukoya. My goodness. So while Joyce Meyer was abroad, Pastor Bimbo was in Nigeria. She was someone I could relate with. She spoke like me. She looked like me. She had children like me. So I was completely enamored by her. I bought every single tape, every single CD, every single resource. I was constantly consuming Pastor Bimbo Odukoya's resources. So I'll say these 3 women truly set a solid foundation for my faith. My mom, bless her heart, Pastor Bimbo Odukoya, and Joyce Meyer all the way in America.
I've known Ezi-Aha for years and years. In her days as an undergraduate, she was worshiping at one of our branches in the city of Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. I started noticing her because she will always come to the headquarters every Tuesday. We used to have what we call School of Ministry. And she was one of those students that it does not matter the cost, she's always there. So it's easy to notice her. Of course, she has the advantage of her height, you know, and her glowing face. Then she has this, it was like a sponge in absorbing knowledge. I mean, you are teaching, as a teacher, you look around the congregation, you will notice the faces of people that are absorbing everything you are saying. Ezi-Aha is one of those. And then when it's time for question and answer, I love to do question and answer. Her questions are always very intelligent. I remember there was a time I said I was going to teach 7 kids having a perfect day. You know, I said it in passing. I forgot about it. Surprisingly, the next Tuesday, she raised up her hand and said, "Sir, you said you teach this and you didn't teach it," you know? And I thought, wow, something I said in person, she picked that and it became for her something she was looking forward to. When she left University of Ibadan with a first class, I am and was very proud. I've had a few of them like that with first class, and it's always exciting to me. Don't ask me what class I came out of school with, though. You know, but I was very excited, and I've seen from there to discovering herself in the field of health. Oh my God, that's given me a lot of joy.
I was head of department when Ezi-Aha and one other lady came for admission. I followed Ezi-Aha through the program, and she was doing very well. You know, so I wasn't really surprised when at the end of the period, 3 years or so, she was the best student in the class with a first class degree. You know, and I was very happy with her. You know, one, because she is from my area, and two, because I talked to her and I encouraged her, and she took to my advice. I told her it's not the end of the world, she can make a new beginning, and she took that on. and did very well. I was very, very impressed with her performance.
Ezi-Aha, I met her in 2004 at the University of Ibadan when we started our first year, actually in PSSF. That's the Prelim Science Student Family, which was a group that was focused on spiritual and academic excellence. And I remember meeting this girl at one of our chemistry lessons, and there she was sitting beside me, all nice and bright with her very colorful contact lens, I remember. And I remember she said something, and I just sat down there staring at her, just staring, like rudely staring at her. And I'm sure she wondered at some point, what's going on with this girl? Why is she looking at me? But yeah, it was a moment that has stuck with me, and especially because Ezi-Aha is somebody she has a very big personality, right? She's larger than life, and it's not just about her very, bright and colorful person and the way she presents herself, but it's also the sort of content that comes out of her mouth. As many would know, she's a lover of Jesus. She's a Christian, and so yeah, I think I kind of just liked her from that moment that I met her at the chemistry class, and we just basically carried on serving together in PSSF. I think she was probably part of the welfare team. I was part of the welfare team, so we were like serving the first year students. Ezi-Aha loves life. She's a lover of life. She is very expressive, as you know. There is no way that Ezi-Aha will meet someone and not leave a lasting impression on them. That is the kind of person she is. So I'm so glad that we are celebrating you on this day. I particularly remember, because we both shared the same hostel as well, Idia Hall in the University of Ibadan. She was very, very active. She was active because I remember very well there was a time she actually put herself forward to serve in the capacity of I think maybe it's a sociology secretary or something like that, social secretary, I think it was. And I remember that we all came around her, supported her during this time, but you could see from that time, even back then, what her vision was for the hostel. And yeah, she's just one who is passionate. When she lays her hand on something that she wants to do, you can see the passion come through, her commitment and a love to get a result, and that is why I am super proud today of where she is, of where Ezi-Aha is, especially in her home front, her work life, the community of people that she leads and she impacts positively.
What was confusing for a lot of us was how she was able to manage spirituality and almost flamboyant lifestyle. Back then in school, she was dressy, she had all the colors of hair. I mean, she's really toned down right now. She had crazy colors sometimes, as those very churchy spiritual brethren, just like, who is this person? Is this person here to tempt us? That sort of a thing. But she had a very fine balance. I mean, coming out of school and going more in my own faith as well, I just later realized that so many of these things, that we judge people for unknowingly are just customary, just culture, nothing spiritual per se, and that's one good lesson, I could pick from her very early. She's very spiritual, and she's maintained that level of spirituality, in fact, increased that level of spirituality.
She just transferred from Faculty of Pharmacy to the Social Sciences at the University of Ibadan. And some few things that I've noticed about her that I still see in her up to this moment was this Jesus business. Ezi-Aha didn't start her Jesus business yesterday. It started way back, before I met her, and even during our friendship at the university. I even used to tease her like, you'll be the inheritor of this triumphant assembly. She attends a church then, which she invited me a couple of times.
We were both together in the Prelim Science Students family. We call it PSSF. It's a group of 100-level students where we pray together, we talk about academics. It just gives you like a sense of family, like a home away from home, because we're all coming in as freshers. And this girl, she was in welfare. She was very bold, very audacious. That was the first thing that caught me about her. She always had this colorful hair. You know, Ezi-Aha was one that she would do purple hair or wine attachment hair, and I was coming from a very conservative background, and I'm like, who is this girl? How can you just dress so boldly and colorfully? But amidst the appearance, she was a very sweet person. Ezi-Aha is generous.
When I think about you, a quote comes to mind, and it is, "Live to die empty." Because I think you're one of those people that really embodies that, that idea of everything God has put inside me. I'm not taking anything back, because I can't even take it back, right? Like, legit, you feel like it's like you're walking around thinking God is going to ask me, what have you done with the talent that I've given you, the gifts I've given you, what have you done with it? So your plan is to just leave, like pour everything out, give it all out, and ensure that when you're going back to heaven, it's a case of job well done. That's what you're getting. When I think back at when you had to leave pharmacy, which was a very difficult time for you, and quite a number of people would have just given up, but you didn't. That's not you. That's not Ezi-Aha. You didn't give up. It felt like you dug your heels in, and when you went to social sciences, it's like, y'all need to know I'm here, right? That was you. Like, you showed up and showed out, succeeded, excelled. It was excellence. Like, you weren't playing. And I really, like I said, I admire that about you. It shows the fact that you can dream a new dream at different times. Life will throw different things at you, and you're just there because you know who your father is, right? So you know that he's got your back, and you can dream a new dream, and when he brings something different your way, you're ready to go again. You served in church, you served people, you gave your heart to people, you were a friend to me and to so many people. It's just really beautiful to see that there is somebody that is my friend that just knows that abundant life that God has promised is possible and is living it. It amazes me how you do it all. Like, it's like vision after vision, and it's not a case of there is a roadmap. It is, as much as you try to put a roadmap in place to say, oh, this is what I'm doing after this, it's just God puts you in your heart, and then you're like, okay, yes Lord, I'm ready to go. You don't know what bus stop this is and all of that, and somehow the building blocks are coming into place. But I know that it also shows your heart and how you really trust God to lead you at all times.
One decision would redefine her future.
My journey to be Coach E is such an exciting one. So I had my first son, who incidentally is now 11, and after I had him, I gained a lot of weight. And then I went through this whole entire process of losing the weight, and I lost it publicly. I was losing it on Instagram. I was sharing everything I was doing every time, and the results were amazing. I mean, I lost 30 kg in about 4 months. That's incredible. And I started to help women for free. Like, I lost weight, let me help you. And then my mama, Pastor Mildred, she's like, girl, you can actually start a business from this. And long story short, Coach E Squad, at the time that's what it was called, was birthed. And now we have helped thousands of women and possibly thousands of families lead healthier lives and lose the weight, of course.
What began as personal transformation became a movement. Behind the impact was still a woman balancing life, purpose, and family.
And speaking of families, sometime now 3 years ago, I remember I was at ELC, Excellence in Leadership Conference in Daystar, and I got this word from God. It was just clear instructions: write a book. They wrote the Wellness Champions book. We did a book launch. We did the book launch, and they said, tell me about child nutrition and how he was calling me into the young pandemic space to literally save the children. And that's it too. I found myself doing one conference after another, one event after another, and suddenly I'm actually in school. 13 years after my first degree, I went back to school to get an MSc, which I'm now done with. I'm And now I'm on a PhD journey. Why? Because we want to use research and data to save the children. It has been a really exciting journey. I call it what? My journey to PhD, journey to Dr. Ezi-Aha Bolaji-Olojo.
13 years after her first degree, she returned to school. Consistency became influence. Influence became legacy.
I've had the privilege of pastoring Ezi-Aha for a season in her life. I do remember one Sunday morning after the service, someone walked up to me and she said, "My name is Ezi-Aha, and I don't like people forgetting my name." And that struck me because her name in itself means a good name. So when she said, "I don't like people forgetting my name," I said to her, "Say that name to me again." And she said, "My name is Ezi-Aha. Anyway, you won't forget me because I'll keep saying hi to you. I used to attend Rev's church." And she had this whole, whether I liked it or not, she was a part of my family. She's a breath of fresh air. Ezi-Aha reinforces your call. She makes you feel like you're really doing good as a shepherd. Ezi-Aha comes with passion. She comes with that intensity that is good. Ezi-Aha is built for much more than just being a mom and a wife. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with that. Some people are just built for more. And Ezi-Aha is one of those. She learned how to discipline herself and she lost weight. It was remarkable. Because just before that, I had lost weight, but then I put it all back on because I had a second baby. And so when Ezi-Aha lost this weight and impressively has kept it off all these years, she eventually now moved back to Lagos again. She and her husband moved to another church, but Ezi-Aha always made it clear whether she was present in my church or not, that I was her mama, I was her pastor. So we'd still have conversations. And I remember one day she came to visit me in the house and she was talking about how she had lost so much weight and how she tried to help a lot of her friends who found out she had lost weight. They kept saying, "Oh, how did you do it?" And so, of course, she wanted to help people. And that's Ezi-Aha. Like I said, she's the queen of not gatekeeping. If she has information, you have to have it. So, she tried to help some of her friends, but they weren't taking it seriously. And at the time, I just felt deeply in my heart that this is what God wants to do with this girl. And so I kind of brought to her attention, gently, because Ezi-Aha too needs to hear from God. So I gently nudged her in that direction that you are giving away free what you should be charging for. And she was like, "It feels wrong to charge for it. She got it free." I said, "Really? Did you really get it free? I think you need to think about this." And that sort of birthed the business. I remember feeling a need to introduce her to DDK. I kept saying, "I feel like you guys do really well. I feel like DDK is kind of person that you should be, a part of your life." And I introduced them and she, they just built a lovely relationship ever since, as her mentor and everything. And Ezi-Aha somehow is the kind of person that doesn't even wait for you to ask. Everything you teach her, when she applies it, Ezi-Aha is going to send you an email with, "This is what you told me to do. This is what I did with it, and this is the result." So I've watched her write books. I've watched her train women on how to treat their bodies as a temple. I've watched her educate people about eating right, eating clean, living healthy, and understanding that it's also worship to God. So I think that the fact that she even brings the God factor into it makes such a huge difference.
I've joined you from over 10 years ago till up to last year, and I see a lot of growth. Every time I join your coaching class, there's growth. There are new things to look forward to, and it's actually exciting. I also like the fact that you bring God into whatever you do. I like the fact that if you get asked a question that you're not sure you do know, you go back and then you actually come back with an answer. I love the coaching style. I like the accountability. I know you're the best coach I've had. I've had quite a few coaches apart from me in the past, but whenever I come to you or whenever we work together, I always achieve results. And you add a human touch to it, you add a touch of humor to it, and you bring so much joy while losing weight?
I first met her in 2023 when she was speaking at an event about a for-purpose body, and I remember feeling like, oh, that makes sense to me. I used to say that she was the first fitness coach, healthy living coach, let me use that word, who resonated with me, who was talking about the body from a perspective that didn't make the body the end. People always talked about coaching, you have a nice body and all of that. But, she gave it a language that was deeper than just having a nice body. She gave it language that sort of resonated with me as someone who was a believer, was a visionary, of understanding that my body was a tool for God's purposes, and that was why I needed to take care of it. And that was where our journey started. And I remember coming in, and initially it was a little bit weird, a little bit wonky for me, if I'm being honest. The kind of thing we had to do like a 4-day fast. I was like, wait, what? Like a fruit fast. I was like, wait, what? Are you kidding me? And all of that. But for me, I feel like the biggest impact that coaching's work has had on me, and I want to believe on the community of our citizens, like she likes to call everyone, is a reorientation, a deep-seated rethinking of how you engage your body, how you engage food, how you think about even feeding yourself, your children, taking care of yourself, and things like that.
Working with Coach has been one of the most transformative experience in my professional and personal life. And as a coaching assistant within one of our visionary expressions, which is Coach E-Nation, I've seen firsthand how a coaching goes beyond diet or nutrition or exercise and goes into deeper issues like habit building, psychology, purpose, and everything anchored on the firm foundation of faith. One of the things that we ensure that we do in Coaching Nation is that we remove pressure from healthy living journey and make sure that they enjoy the process as they go through that journey. And this is because Coach is usually very firm and very resolute about her desire to want people to enjoy. She would say that this journey can be joyful, and that's why we have joyful weight loss and forever results. It means that you're going to get a forever result, not this yo-yo weight loss, and then you're going to achieve it being very, very joyful. The most fascinating thing for me working with Coach has to be the fact that she walks the talk, like she does it, she lives that lifestyle.
What Coach has been able to unlock is how to really, really help you stay on a consistent path. Yes, you will fall off here and there, but you even know what to do to bring yourself back. You don't feel helpless. It's almost like an inner empowerment. The way she likes to say it is that she helps you to get your forever results and forever body. And I think that she is really, really true to that.
Do you know what it is to gather moms in one place and push them to do something better for their children? That's no small feat. But that's something she has done so passionately and so effortlessly. Honestly, I can go on and on about the amazing things Ezi-Aha has done. Not only has she written and authored a fantastic book, she also started the Savior Moms Club, which for me is a huge deal. So I'm really grateful to know her, and to know her is to love her. And to love her is to see the passion and the drive that she has, because it's not just a conversation about, oh, let's advocate for children, oh, children should eat better. It's more than that. She's targeting the things that parents are not seeing. She's targeting the parts that are hurting parents the most, and she's addressing it in the most empathetic and loving environment, but still being stern, so that she's sure that you will do the work, not only just in her home with her own family and her own children, but in the lives of so many other mothers that have come in contact with her citizens, like she calls them in her weight loss programs, which I love, because when you belong to a place, you're a citizen of that place, and citizens have to abide by the laws of that environment. And so not only are those moms and those women abiding by the laws of weight loss to better their selves, to better their minds, to better their bodies, but then she's going to take it a step further by advocating for their children as they change their lives to change their children's lives. So yes,
Yes, Ezi-Aha is doing amazing. Yes, I love what she's doing and I stand by her every step of the way because it doesn't take just one person to change the lives of children. It takes an army and you need good soldiers to do it.
One of the greatest compliments that I believe I have in my life is to be Ezi-Aha's mentor. It's one of my most cherished offices. It's one of my most cherished assignments. And one of the greatest compliments that I have given to Ezi-Aha, and I meant it with all my heart when I said it to her, is that she's actually one of my favorite mentees. Ezi-Aha, you are extraordinary, and I do not use my words lightly. I've witnessed your growth. I've witnessed your dedication, your excellence of spirit, your devotion to craftsmanship, your love for the Lord, your passion for order, your capacity to carry multi-influential streams of grace in your life, your unbeatable love for family. You are your husband's wife and your children's mother, and these are roles that you play with such exceptional commitment, passion, excellence, and order. You are commendable on many, many levels. I believe that I am a beneficiary of your detail orientation. You have a keen sense of detail. You have an appreciation for things that many other people miss. And you have a candor about you that is both honoring and holy. When you share feedback with me about something I'm working on, a product we've released, an experience you had, an event you attended, a ministry expression you were a part of, you take your time. You contribute so meaningfully to helping me see our experiences from a perspective of a receiver, and it has added so much value to my life, to my leadership, to my ministry, to my coaching, to my businesses, and I'm extremely proud of you. You are tenacious, you're committed, and you are for the long haul. Your long-standing 10-year commitment to our relationship is extremely applaudable.
One thing that struck me about her to this birthday, I still remember is she looked like somebody who had clarity of principles, clarity of decisions, clarity of goals. When she started her week program based on her own experiences, it was that same clarity. There's a way she puts her thoughts forward and she's persistent. I'm going to persistent is not the right word, consistent is the right word.
You take accountability very seriously. You carry me along, you share your goals, you produce reports. You are so detailed with the way that you break down and offer an understanding for me of the work you are putting in and how you're translating the wisdom I share with you and that which you're learning even in coaching engagements into lived work in your life. And that takes me to number 4. Your conversion is compelling. The way that you work with the wisdom, the strategy, the coaching, the mentorship, the guidance that I share with you is nothing short of absolutely stunning work. You are devoted to craftsmanship. You've grown, you've built yourself, your businesses, your ministry in such a way that I find it so enjoyable to teach you. When I see you in a room, I want to teach even 2x the initial passion I come into that room with. You are beautiful. Your heart is kind. You're excellent. You are a woman of good character. You have a good name and you have a good heart. You are a good woman.
I met Ezi-Aha in 2008. Of course, we're both in the University of Ibadan. I think the point of contact was the Winners Campus Fellowship. I was privileged to be a leader in the fellowship at the time, and she was also a member of the EXCO. I mean, Ezi-Aha was someone you could not miss, if she was somewhere, you would definitely know someone had come in. I mean, she's a lot calmer now, she was very visible. There was just something about her that, caught my interest. Ezi had a lot of energy in school. She was very brilliant as well. You give me another chance, I would choose her over and over and over again. She's an amazing woman. She's a highly favored person, and I've really enjoyed that favor upon my life, in my career as well. And of course, you can tell even in our family, God has really been good to us. Ezi-Aha is an amazing wife and a true and great mother, I must say, to the kids. She's very domesticated, which is another thing hardly gets these days. Very domesticated. She would want to do her market runs by herself. She wants to cook for her family. She wants to do as much as she can do. Sometimes I just tell her, babe, let's get a help to do this. Let's get someone to go to this market. Let's get, she was like, no, I like to go to Mao 12 or something, that market where, in fact, she had at some point rain boots and, raincoats, to enter the market and do shopping and do all sort of things for herself. And I'm like, babe, you need to take things easy. But that's what, she I won't even say she loves doing. She's committed to doing, just to ensure that our family is happy. Of course, she's very passionate about the kind of meals we eat. By now, everybody around her knows, it's a no junk era for us and the family. She's very particular about what goes into our system, what goes into the children's body. Of course, we all have scales where we monitor our weight every day. There's so much, that she makes sure that we do in the house. Fun fact, most times when I, come back from the office, I just remove my shoes, put my socks in, and she comes to tell me, babe, this is the last time I would remove your socks from your shoes and wash for you. And I'm like, babe, sorry, don't worry, I will do it. But funny enough, next time I still put these socks in my shoes, and she's still gonna wash it. She's that committed to doing the right things, I must say, and she's just an amazing woman to me. Because of her spirit, because of the fact that she doesn't stand for anything less than excellence, she's also been able to, imbibe that in the children, where, whatever they do has to be excellent. Their handwriting, the, notes writing, the assignments, and of course you could see that in their results as well. She's that intentional, she's that passionate, and I'm truly grateful to God for the kind of life Ezi-Aha lives. I say to myself, I'm perhaps one of the luckiest, guys on earth, and having that privilege to be husband to Ezi-Aha.
My mommy is someone who deals with sounding of alarms for wellness champions, so we can save our children from the junk and the junk pandemic. I like my mom because she prioritizes God. And also she has prioritized God in journaling her thoughts and what God has told her. It has helped me in the way of fasting and prayer. I've learned how to fast every Sunday, and I also know how to pray and journal. I like that my mom is very organized. She likes to plan events before they happen. She normally plans her day every day. Meaning that when she wakes up, she plans her day how she wants her day to go. You can't just call her in the middle of a day and tell her that she wants her to go somewhere. She has to schedule everything, and she uses calendar to schedule them well. It has also helped me because sometimes I plan my day myself, and I try to make it interesting, and at the same time I try to make sure I achieve a lot in that day rather than wasting time. She's always very disciplined, and she likes accepting gifts, and she's very grateful. If you give her something, she always says thank you. And she likes pictures. She likes having pictures around her.
Yeah, sometime towards the Bolaji's final year in UI, he was admitted in UCH. I've always seen him as a quiet boy. So I was mildly surprised when I went to see him. I saw him surrounded by about 4 or 5 girls. I was wondering, wow, when did Bolaji become such a popular guy? not knowing that Ezi-Aha was really one of them who invited all our other friends to come and say hello to him on his sick bed. Maybe a few years later, I was home when he came with her, looking a little bit plumpy. And he said, Daddy, this is the person I want to marry. Oh, I said, fine. But you know, in my heart, the only misgiving I had then was that, by the time this girl, drop 1 or 2 children, she will become plumpy. Ezi-Aha surprised me in a number of ways. After her childbirth, I didn't see her for quite a while. But the next time I saw her, I said, who is this? She laughed. I said, you want to disappear? I mean, she's virtually, at that time, she was virtually half of the person that my son introduced to me as his girlfriend he wanted to marry. So she has gone down. I say, I hope everything is okay. He said, then my son joked. He said, he's a weight coach. I said, oh, I think you started with yourself. And this is absolutely wonderful. There is no time that she has ever disappointed me as a daughter. That is the absolute truth. Always gregarious, happy and always excited to see me.
I got to know Ezi-Aha via her blog post. My sister kept on telling me, there's this blog you need to check out, like you would love it. I went ahead to check out the blog, and the blog happened to belong to Ezi-Aha. It was E on the Fab Lane. And just checking out the blog, something resonated with me. I connected with the blog. The thing about Ezi-Aha then, when she was writing the blog, was there were 2 things. She was authentic. Ezi-Aha was sharing from a place of deep authenticity. She was not sugarcoating everything. Then when it was the time of blogs, we had people, fashion content creators, but Ezi-Aha was sharing wholeheartedly. She shared about us, with us, her journey to her marriage, the challenges, when she, just all the challenges, how she failed out of farm school. She shared all this and she didn't sugarcoat. And from then, I connected deeply with the blog. It just became a ritual, a routine. That the blog posts start dropping, I would go and read the blog posts. I couldn't even wait for the blogs to drop. I would always be refreshing. And so that began my journey with Ezi-Aha from the blog. So I remember 2014, 2015, that's almost 10 years, I sent her an email. And Ezi-Aha replied with the same energy she gives you on the blog. So there was no discrepancy between Ezi-Aha on the blog and Ezi-Aha that I was chatting with. It was just the same Coach Ezi-Aha's energy. She replied with that energy. And then she sent her phone number. I called and I explained to her. And she was so welcoming. The same way she shares wholeheartedly.
I had known Coach like all my adult life. I was about 18 when I met her. I was just fresh out of uni, or 19 thereabout. I was just fresh out of uni. She had put out this application. We saw a vacancy. She was looking for an executive assistant at the time, so I applied. My cousin, prior to them, my cousin would always tell me about her. She would say, oh, I need to meet this woman. She's very bold. She's loud for Jesus. She was mentoring her at the time. So I remember I applied. When I got it, I didn't quite know what to expect. I didn't know anything about mentorship. I had not heard that before. I didn't know anything about anything, basically. So after I started to serve closely with Coach E, there were various things I did. There were various things I did. But one major thing with Coach is that you cannot come in contact with Coach and your life will remain the same. It's not possible.
When you sit with Ezi-Aha, consistently listening to her, and then you hear her voice telling, when you see this life, you will have sense. You will have sense. I started having sense. I began to have sense, and it's just been so much of growth. So moving from Sisters on the Fab Lane, moving to the wild women, to the fruitful where we are now, it's just been growth. And the funny thing is, we're not just growing, we're seeing Ezi-Aha grow and evolve into the woman she is now.
Coach has this infectious spirit. She's she's a type A personality, so I mean she gets things done. She's very structured, she's very consistent. But in my time of serving with her, one thing about Coach is that she doesn't do half measure, she doesn't do halfway. She puts in 100% into anything that she's doing, no matter what it is.
We are many and we will be more. Now that's something I started to say recently because I see such fruits, I see such impact, I see the lives of people who by the grace of God I have mentored, and I see how beautiful their lives are turning out. So no matter what we see out there, my testimony truly remains that we are many and will be more. So how did mentoring begin for me? I was learning so much from those I considered my own mentors, especially distant mentors. So because I was learning from them and applying and growing and getting better, a natural outflow of that was actually teaching others. I could just not keep it all within me. So I started writing. Writing is a natural gift that the Lord has given to me. So I started to write. I started writing on Facebook notes. I don't even know if those things are available now, but I was doing Facebook notes. And after that, someone told me there's something called a blog. So I registered a blog. My blog is over 20 years old. Ezi-Aha.com. And then I started mentoring young ladies just out of school or still in university, because I had learned, I had grown, so I felt like I could teach them from what I knew. After that, we started to mentor wives, God's domestic queens, and we'll do that in 3-month mentoring programs or 6-month mentoring programs. And after that, we started to mentor wives who were going through challenges in their marriages, because I had seen prayer as a strategy that worked for me, and I felt like, hey, we could deploy that to wives too who were going through challenging situations. So it was just natural. I had to mentor people, and have absolutely enjoyed mentoring people. It has been one of the highlights of my life, and even till now, I still get to mentor people through various expressions. So yes, we are many, and we will be more by the grace of God.
I was looking for a community of sisters where we could do life together in Christ and grow together as Christians. That's one of the reasons why I joined the Fruitful. So when I joined the Fruitful, I met Coach when I joined the Fruitful, and it has been amazing. It has been amazing. It has been wonderful. I've gained a lot from her teachings, from her wisdom, even from the way she lives her life. Ezi-Aha is somebody that is very intentional about her life. She's very consistent, and she's very practical. I've learned how to steward my emotions, and that has helped my relationships a great deal.
She told me, I have a prayer group on BBM, Sisters on Family. You should join. And I joined. That just marked a difference in my relationship with God.
When I think about the work we did back then, in Wild, I think what stands out most for me is the intentionality, the discipline. And nothing was accidental. Every gathering, every teaching, every prayer, every structure you put in place carried purpose. It created an environment where sisters were not just encouraged emotionally, but were grounded spiritually and were equipped practically. Under your leadership in Wild was more than a group. It was a training ground. Women learned how to pray with intentionality. They learned how to study the word. They learned how to live their faith with courage. They learned how to be accountable. They learned about leadership. Women found purpose. They found clarity. Your leadership as well also reflected your deep love for Jesus and your commitment to helping believers, helping people build a structured, consistent walk with God. It has shaped many lives, including mine, and it has continued to bear fruit.
I joined the Fruitful. It's a sister group where we meet, we pray, and she has led so beautifully.
I met Captain during one of our TFS, which is the Fab Sisters Mentoring Session, and I joined. Thankfully, my class was the last one, so I always say that my relationship or my meeting is just a proof that God is intentional about me and God really cares about my growth. I have seen her in action. I have seen her relationship with God. I have seen her walk in obedience with God. I have seen her do the impossible. I have seen her dare the impossible. And I've also seen God answers prayers. And it just really made me to also stay in my relationship with God. Because I get to say sometimes like, God did it for Captain, God can do it for me. Every time I want to talk about Captain, I use the scripture in Psalms 36 verse 9 that talks about in your light we see light, because really in a light, the light that she has experienced in her walk with God has also helped me as a mentee in my walk with God. Another beautiful part is where she talks about, the boldness, the confidence, how she carries Jesus on her head. You cannot just misbehave, because deep down it's either you are hearing her voice or you are thinking, if my mentor actually hears this, how is she going to react? How is she going to behave? So over the last 6 years of following, or let me say 5 years of following, it has just been a beautiful journey. These teachings, this learning has helped me to shape decisions. It has helped me not to go with the crowd.
I was transitioning into a full-time stay-at-home mom, and I just needed someone that I've walked that path, someone I could ask questions, someone I could that I've done it before and I could relate to. I attended a program, a Kabalo. Yeah, she was talking about how you being a stay-at-home mom, you can dominate your space, not allowing the devil a foothold into your home. And just that gave me a mindset to understand that first, I am a mom. I have been given a mandate by God to train my children. I also want to really thank her for giving me access into her space, because I get the opportunity to see a lot of things I can also imbibe in my home.
I was navigating a season of my life at that time, from a career woman to a new country, and finding myself as a stay-at-home mom. And I stumbled on Coach E's blog, and I began reading. And as I read that blog, something in me clicked. Things just took off. She became my mentor from far away. A few months down the line, I did see the call for the God's Warring Queens, and I jumped straight in. It was a terrific 6 weeks of my life. Just having that close contact with someone who had been mentoring me from afar in various aspects, including nutrition, diet, marriage, and just coming into the room, the virtual room, and sitting with Coach E, praying together, praying with other women, with the passion, with the hunger. It was life-changing, I'll tell you. I watched Coach E come into those meetings, sometimes really tired, sometimes exhausted, but always there to battle ready, ready to pray with us, ready to wage war, ready to hold hands, ready to fellowship. One other thing that I learned from that 6 weeks was the power of an intentional thanksgiving. And it's something that I've taken into my life even till now. Coach E, you finished work in that academy, I will say. It has been the most amazing thing, to see the women in that academy grow, to see other fruitful expressions, from that academy.
Coach Ezi-Aha is an institution where you go to study, because truly, all the facets of our life are amazing. As a sister, friend, and a mentee of Ezi-Aha, my life has really had a turnaround. I met Ezi-Aha Bolaji-Olojo in 2020 during Allah Pala, a kind of a prayer group that holds on Sundays in the morning while she's taking a walk. And when I came in, the vibrancy I saw there, I was like, God, I can't keep up with this. So I left. I ran away. But I later came back when she launched in GDQ, God's Domestic Queen, and it was another level of eye-opening. I learned a lot, how to be disciplined in my marriage, how to love myself. We moved from GDQ to White Sisters and all the way to Fruitful Community. And her counsel is still relevant in my life till today. She doesn't take rubbish. It was the day she was tired. She was like, she's very tired. I said, Mama, rest. And I said, no, there's no resting, no. This thing that she has agreed to do, she must finish. And I'm like, wow. kind of a person is this one? Spiritually, no one go there. Ezi-Aha is a journal that should be read. Though as a health coach, I love the way she brings spirituality to it. In fact, Ezi-Aha's life is spiritual. She can't finish talking without you knowing she's God's daughter. Ezi-Aha is evolving. Every day she's changing. Every day she's learning. Is it in terms of the word of God? Oh my God. Her push and her love for the word of God made me to one day did Osusu, gather the word, packed it, I went to buy Bibles. I was like, no. I must study the way this woman is studying. Thank you, Mama, for allowing me to know you. Thank you for the access. I do not take it for granted.
So my leadership journey has been really exciting, and quite honestly, leadership is something I have enjoyed. First of all, I do know that I have a spiritual gift of leadership, so that's foundational. And then I can point out to some people along the way very intentionally that have helped me on this leadership journey. One would be Joyce Meyer. Even though, of course, I've never met her, but I've read so many books. But she had this particular book on leadership. I don't remember the name now, but I remember reading it, and she talked about so many things in it that I had never seen, especially from the point of spiritual leadership. And a lot of the focus was on the heart. But somehow, learning from Joyce Meyer just put something in me, was so foundational. And it made me realize that this leadership thing is not a joke. Even though it's a gift, it still has to be harnessed. Then fast forward to 2019. I'll never forget. I go to this amazing church, Daystar Christian Center. And we have several leadership programs. If you know Daystar, we're huge on leadership. And then in one of our leadership programs, the Global Leadership Summit, I encountered the phenomenon that is Craig Groeschel. I just remember thinking, oh my God, who is this man? It was so good, everything he said. So I started to follow him. Thankfully, he has a leadership podcast. And I leaned in completely. Maybe over 60% of everything I know in leadership, I have learned from Craig Groeschel. I followed his podcast. I'm saying I had a timetable to follow him every single week. Someone else that has been super instrumental for me in terms of leadership would be Carey Nieuwhof. I read his book on cynicism and the leader's heart. And I remember just thinking, wait, we can get cynical as Christians in leadership. And I said, that would never be me. He also shared his story of burning out. And I remember thinking, this can also never be me. I never want to burn out. I never want to be cynical. I always want to be joyful. So from Joyce Meyer to Craig Groeschel to Carey Nieuwhof, these ones have taught me how to do leadership so well within a spiritual capacity, have joy doing it, and most importantly, keep a pure heart. So those three people have been very significant for me. Craig Groeschel, Carey Nieuwhof, and of course my mama, Joyce Meyer.
I didn't give Ezi-Aha any option but to perform because I didn't get her approval before the responsibility was thrusted on her. Someone on the team who was, I think, the head of the team at the time was leaving town, and I looked around, who's the deputy? Oh, Ezi-Aha. Okay, automatically you take over, and that's exactly what she did, and she did creditably well. Of course, you know the natural challenge of managing a team you didn't put together. That initial one was there, but she didn't complain anything to me because I couldn't complain to anybody when I took over as head of the team. So, and she did creditably well. A good number of the people who worked with her, gave her credit for a lot of things. One thing that I also have found about her is her fear of God, her capacity or ability to look up to God for anything.
I encountered Ezi-Aha first in my sociology research class at the University of Lagos, and from the get-go I could tell that I had a very special student I was dealing with. She's that kind of person that exudes so much confidence, yet is very respectful, and that's a rare combination for one to have that measure of confidence and at the same time remain respectful. But that's who she is. That's the kind of person she is. in terms of intelligence, it's very clear that she stands out. In fact, I'll typically place her in the top 1% of all the students I have encountered. She's that good. Naturally, she is a leader. Whether she holds an office, a position or not, she leads and others follow. She discharged her duties excellently. The class governor is the go-between the class and lecturers, and she did that excellently. So that's the kind of person we're talking about in Ezi-Aha.
Even if I wasn't your mentor, if I met you in life's journey, I would have loved to be a part of your life. You're special. There's no guile in you.
One other thing about leadership I learned from my mentor, PDDK, Pastor Debola Deji-Kurunmi, and she talks about a heart without guile. So first of all, when it comes to people, I've just always wanted to help people. For me, it was about helping people. But on the journey, sometimes we get hits in our heart, people hurt us. But I would always remember PDDK talking about a heart without guile. And I see her model it. I mean, by the grace of God, she has kept leadership pure, joyful, exciting, and without guile. And I'm like, if she can do it, I too can do it. So what do? I keep people front and center. It's really about helping people. It's really about loving people. It's really about making people better. So yes, they will hurt us, but it's part of the journey. We take our hearts to Jesus. I journal, I pray, I cry, I give it to God, and I move on. Because listen, we're young and we're going very, very far. We cannot afford to be carrying wounds in our hearts everywhere. So yes, leadership for me without guile has been something I learned from my mentor, Debola Deji-Kurunmi.
Ezi-Aha, you're loyal, you're loving, and your loyal love is like luxury because you spend and you are spent for those that you love.
I've seen that dedication, that clarity of purpose, character decision play through over the last 16 years, even in how she's intentional about her friendships.
There's no jaga in her life, so everything is on purpose.
The friendships that she invests in actually creates depth in her visionary life. And the joyful activities that she intentionally places herself in actually helps her to live more fulfilled as a visionary. So it is not one or the other. It is that the two can actually find themselves coexisting in one space. When people see Ezi-Aha, typically what they see is the visionary. But when I think about Ezi-Aha, what I get to see is the laughter, is the joy, is the unfiltered moments, is the times where she is vulnerable and just pouring out her heart in tears or joy. Is that time where she just lays her head back and is just laughing like a little girl. This is the part of Ezi-Aha a lot of people do not get to see. Ezi-Aha finds joy in two places, if you ask me. Number one is in the presence of those that she genuinely loves, like her husband, her mentors, some of her friends, and myself, of course. And number two is she finds joy when she's doing the things that she truly loves, like exercising, traveling, teaching, mentoring, coaching some of the time. But these are the spaces where Ezi-Aha experiences her highest joy. In spaces where she can be seen, where she can be heard, where she can just lay her head backwards without being judged, where she is not the mentor, the teacher, the coach, where she can just truly be Ezi-Aha. These are the spaces where Ezi-Aha finds joy. If you want to find Ezi-Aha reeling in laughter, go through some of our chats and some of the chats of her friends. I will usually sometimes send phrases in response to some of the messages she has sent me, and she will just reel and reel and reel and reel in laughter. And I'm happy that she gets to have these spaces that helps her truly nurture her joy. And the most interesting thing is that these things or these spaces are not accidental. Ezi-Aha is very intentional about what truly gives her joy. If you know Ezi-Aha, you will know that she would not second guess cutting off anything, anyone, or any space that diminishes her joy in any way. She is so secure in herself that she doesn't even count it anything when she throws the floodlight on her friends and the people that matter to her.
You don't do half measure. I don't know you to do half measure. Even in friendships, you don't do half measure. You're all in. It's either you're in or you're not, right? And to be honest, I really, really admire that about you.
She doesn't want to just be the one winning. She wants you to win along with her.
Ezi-Aha is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Even in 2020, when I had breast cancer, Ezi-Aha, when she got to me, she was like, no. She took it upon herself as if I was her sister. And till today, she still asks me, she say, "Afifo, how are you? Have you gone for your checkup? When is the next checkup?" Just follow up. She never stops. She never stopped. She took it upon herself financially, calling, prayers. She was just there. She's there. What kind of person is this?
When you hear that a woman is living on purpose, Ezi-Aha is that woman. Ezi-Aha is that all or none kind of girl. When she's in, and when she's out, she's out. Ezi-Aha loves to gist. The kind of gist she gists is not for gist's sake. Her conversations are deep. Her conversations are nourishing. Her conversations are heartfelt. And above all, what I really, really like about her conversations, they are pure. She loves to share her heart with you, and she loves to hear you. She loves that feedback. She loves you to also share your heart with her. She loves to be in touch. So her Shabbat rest is her way of coming back into herself. So she's very intentional about it. Next to God, Ezi-Aha's family are, the next best thing in her life. And so she doesn't joke with them. Ezi-Aha plans time with her family. You see how she plays with her boys with the same intensity that she uses to teach them and to parent them. Ezi-Aha has time for her friends. Even with her busy schedule, she creates time for her friends. You catch her reading a book. You catch her, that's why she's not updating her bucket list. You catch her planning her travels. You catch her planning getaways with her family and actually getting away with her family. You catch her scheduling times with friends. So she catches up with friends, even to the point of surprising them on their birthdays. She does and loves to do that. Ezi-Aha loves to take refreshing naps when she believes her body needs it. It is these seemingly little things that she does that helps her to continue living on purpose.
Without doubt, my life is very intense, it's very full. Sometimes it's actually really fast-paced. So, one thing I tell myself is that it's not just about the results that I get on this visionary life. It's also about the joy that I feel on the journey. So, I am super intentional about putting joy on my schedule, which is why friendships are so important to me. I invest a lot in my friends, whether it's hanging out on a random Tuesday afternoon, remembering birthdays and surprising them, planning weekend trips, planning girls' trip, planning vacation with my friends, Shabbat-themed holidays. I love doing those with my friends. Something else I do personally to make sure that joy stays within my soul is the practice of Shabbat. I will take one day off every week. I'm not going to be online. You're going to find me because it just makes me get in touch again with my soul at my very core. Something else I do is journal. Oh, I can journal for Africa. I have 100 million journals. And I find that little practices like those keep my soul very healthy, very vibrant, and it keeps my joy right in the center of this visionary journey.
40 years of grace, 40 years of strength, and 40 years of purpose. Today, we celebrate not just your age, but a remarkable woman you have become. Diligent in your studies, diligent in your research, progressive in your vision, devoted to your family, an excellent wife, and a truly exceptional mother, a great researcher, ardent scholar. Balancing postgraduate pursuits with the sacred responsibilities of home is indeed no small feat. Yet, you carry it with grace, with intelligence, with resilience and quiet strength. You are proof that ambition and family devotion can beautifully coexist. Indeed, your discipline inspires all. Your progress speaks. Your family flourishes because of your love and wisdom.
Ezi-Aha has evolved. I remember reading this her blog book, surprisingly me authentically satisfied. And I just noticed after that blog post, something shifted. And I just saw that was Ezi-Aha 1.0. If I thought that was enough, I got Ezi-Aha 2.0 when she started her fitness journey and the business. Then, 3.0 was, to me, save our children. And now we're about to enter Ezi-Aha 4.0. I can't wait to see what Ezi-Aha 4.0 brings for us.
40 is strategic. As you step into your 40th year, I decree and declare the hand of God is coming upon you for harvest of all the seeds sown. Where there has been slow, there will now be speed in the name of Jesus.
Wishing you that praying that God will provide all the resources that you require for you to fulfill purpose, propagate the gospel from strength to strength, glory to glory.
I just know my prayer for you is as you step into this new age, God will tell you, well done, my good and faithful servant, because you've used richly all that is deposited in you. You will, 40 will be an amplification of the purpose for which God called you into. You will amplify every single gift God has given to you. So if you thought you were consistent, you were disciplined, you were strategic, you were wise, 40 would bring in a whole new level of all these things and above all your love with God.
I want to thank God for the last 40 years of our life and just seeing her move from one greater glory to another measure of glory.
I has not seen her, I have not heard, neither has it come to the heart of man what God has in stock for you. And I know that we are going to see you in greater places in the name of Jesus.
I want to wish her many more years of service to humanity. She is a blessing to her generation. It's my desire that the world will have more people like her.
One thing I can say is Ezi-Aha has a name that will never be forgotten. And I say this prophetically, both as a mother and as a pastor over her life for so many years. She has a presence. Ezi-Aha carries an atmosphere. She brings her own all by herself. You don't need to do much. And I believe that God has put something really big in her hands. And she is one of the people, the way I say it is, she's one of my children that will answer the enemy at the gates. I pray that God will continue to give her clarity. God will continue to give her a strong consciousness of his presence because she's going after the enemy. And I can tell you for free, he's not really happy about that. She's saving the children. And the children, of course, are what God is after. Godly seed. Godly seed have to even be alive to be godly seed. So I'm really grateful that she's lending her voice to what God is really passionate about. My only prayer for you is that when you get to heaven, your daddy will say, well done, girl, you did it.
As you celebrate your 40th, my prayer is that your best will always be ahead and that the glory of the latter house will be greater than the former, and that the path of the just will remain as shining light that shines brighter unto the perfect day.
You will always be so dear to my heart. You will always be my fave, and you will always be an important part of my family. May the Lord bless you, your amazing husband, your gorgeous boys, and all the great kingdom communities you have built out of your extraordinary work.
This is not simply the story of achievement. It is the story of becoming. It is the story of showing up. It is the story of Ezi-Aha.
Ezi-Aha, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy 40th birthday.
Happy 40th birthday.
Happy 48th birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy 40th birthday.
Happy 40th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy 40th birthday, Ezi-Aha.
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 Happy birthday, Ezi-Aha.
Happy birthday, Ezi-Aha.
Happy 40th birthday, Ezi-Aha.
Happy 40th birthday, Ezi-Aha.
Happy birthday, my darling Ezi-Aha Bolaji-Olojo.
So indeed, from the depths of my heart, I would like to wish my darling, amazing, exquisite, beautiful wife, Ezi-Aha Bolaji-Olojo, a happy 40th birthday. And from the depths of my heart, once again, I say I love you. The kids and I love you. You know, my family truly loves and appreciates what you do for us. May God bless you, and cheers to the next 40 years. In Jesus' name, amen.